If you think you're inferior because you don't have the best equipment, pause this video, slap yourself in the back of the head, and then start playing it again and pay attention. When I started off, I had crap equipment, just like anybody else. I didn't have the best of anything. I didn't have the money to have the best of everything, and I had to use what I had. Now, any of you guys that have been following me for a long period of time know that in less than 2 years, my first 2 years in business, I went from nothing, 0 accounts, to over 100 accounts. Did I do that with the best equipment? No. Do I have the best equipment now? Yes and no. I think I do, because I've come a long way. Like this Tiger Cat right now was brand new last year. It just hit 1 year old. And this Tiger Cat with the full weight kit, the bagging system, everything I bought for it was 13 grand. And I have a lot of older mowers that I've redone that you guys know, that you have seen in my videos. But the point I'm trying to make is my equipment was never better than anybody else's. Maybe some guys that had less equipment than I do. The point is, I took what I had and did the best job that I could do on every single property. Now, there's guys that run the best equipment, the newest equipment, that do a crap job. And I mow one right next to them with far less equipment, less superior equipment, and my yard looks 100 times better. And it's because of the attitude that I have. It's the caring about the customer's yard. There's companies that if a yard needs double cut, they won't do it unless they're getting paid for that double cut. And therefore, they'll just come in, cut the yard. If there's grass laying, they'll leave it because they're not getting paid to cut it a second time, or they're not getting paid to bag it. Now, do I have yards that I get paid extra to bag them every week? Yes, which is one of the reasons I bought the walker, because they need to be bagged every week, and I figured that in my price. You don't necessarily tell them, well, I have to bag it, so it's going to be a little more. You know that you have to do it, so you figure that in before you even give them a price, knowing that that's what you're going to have to do. Or yards that you know get fertilized a lot, you can see the signs there, or you ask them, and you know that you're going to double cut or bag that lawn every week, or at least almost every week. So you figure that in with your pricing. It's all in how you handle a yard. It's all in how you handle any project. Do the best you can do with whatever equipment that you have. Now, I just cut this yard. This is a bi-weekly, and it's right across the street from my house. But it grows like crazy. He doesn't have it fertilized, so I cut it at a higher setting with the walker just so it wouldn't clog it up, because the walker does like to clog. And then I dropped it down. I'm going over it again. Both cuts, cutting this twice, 20 minutes, and I'm in and out of here. And I never have to double cut the front, but I get paid a decent amount for it. And I knew that that's what it would be, because of having to double cut this and having to either double cut it or bag it or both. I knew that, knowing that he wanted this bi-weekly. So you figure that into your price, and it is what it is. But you really need to just take the equipment that you have and make the yard look good. If you get done with it and you look back at that yard and there's grass laying there, or some parts look like they weren't cut even, you go over it again. And it's just what you have to do, regardless of the mower that you have. The old equipment that I ran forever and ever, it is what it is. Some people swear by a certain brand, and that's all preference. I have a friend of mine who loves Wright Standers. I have mentioned it before, and he had a Scag Cheetah on demo in 2016. And he said, that's the worst cutting mower in the world. I hate that thing. It cuts like crap. It doesn't cut like crap. The problem is there's a baffle in the front, and where Scag sets it from the factory is no good for the conditions that we're in up here in the Northeast. My Tiger Cat was the same way when I got it. Once I realized that baffle was there and I adjusted it, that thing cuts like you wouldn't believe. You guys have seen the videos of me cutting with the Tiger Cat. You just saw it on the last part of this video. I had to move the baffle. If he'd have done the same with the Cheetah, it would have cut better. He also had it for quite a bit of time and never sharpened the blades because it wasn't his mower, and he said he wasn't doing it. He wasn't doing anything to the mower. That also played a really big part in why that mower cut like crap. But Scag is, in the top 5 manufacturers of commercial mowers in the market. They had been forever, and they didn't get there by producing a mower that cuts like crap. It's all in preference. But he loves his right stander, so he's going to like it hands down. And that plays into this as well. If you buy an old Lesco or Bunton or Scag, an old Walkbehind, is it going to cut as good as this walker I'm on right now? No. No, there's a really good chance that it's not going to. But you can still get a great looking cut in a great looking yard as a finished product if you take your time, maybe slow the mower down a little bit, keep your blade sharpened, keep the deck scraped. You can still get good results out of running older equipment. Now, for guys like, and I'm not picking on my buddy, he likes what he likes, but I mean, he can go in and take that brand new ZK right stander and mow a yard, and I can come in right behind him with this walker and make it look like he had no clue what he was doing. It's the first yard he ever mowed in his life because of what this walker will do. Now, that's where you start getting into, once you get further along in your business, you decide what's best for your area. Now, what guys cut in Florida is completely different than what I cut up here in Northeast New York, in Western New York. So you need to get the equipment that best suits your needs. Or if you mow a lot of fertilized lawns versus lawns that aren't fertilized. If you mow a lot that are thick grass, or you mow a lot of yards that are nothing but weeds. The point is, do the best job you can do with your equipment. You're not any less of a company because you don't have what everybody else has.